at Slackers Podcast. We want good times to last at Slackers Podcast. We don't talk too fast, and if you don't like the way I talk, then you can lick my ass, 'cause I didn't ask. It's my fucking podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Slackers Podcast. Do not forget that this is the show where we tell you what it is, how it is, and where it is. I've got a pretty cool episode for you guys today. I'm here with Kenny Long, who is the owner, operator, sole proprietor of New Wave Hobbies in Dixon County. It's a hobby shop. It's got some cool stuff in here: video games, movies, sports memorabilia, toys, all kinds of cool stuff. So without further ado, let's start the show. Kenny, why don't you talk about yourself a little bit?
Okay. Hey, I've been around Dixon my whole life. Grew up here, graduated here. One of the things that I've been around industry, sports cars and toys, I mean, my whole life. I worked for a wholesaler. One thing that Dixon needed, it really does, is a hobby shop. Sports cards, toys. I mean, without having to go to Nashville,
Yeah, I see you even got like sneakers over there now.
Yeah.
Or what are those?
I do. Those were actually owned by Dwayne Wade. Yeah.
Oh, no. That's so cool.
Well, it's the funny story about that one is his wife, when they got divorced, she threw a bunch of his stuff, or not really throw it away, but gave it away to people, and they put it on auctions, and so I ended up with them, like from Florida to here. So,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
did you have to go get them, or did you
No.
get them shipped?
I got them from another person that sold them to me, but all the documentation and stuff, it's crazy to see all that stuff. But they're Dwayne Wade's.
Okay, well, we're not talking about what you actually have yet, but I just noticed that.
Yeah.
But that's super cool,
Yeah.
way cool to start off. I actually want to talk about, so we're still in October right now, and I actually, Slackers, have not recorded the finale yet, which is coming out on Saturday. So you're going to be hearing this after that already comes out. But since it's still October and Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, what would you say is your favorite time of year holiday?
Man, that's a good question.
Because the holidays are coming up.
Yeah. I would think Thanksgiving. I mean, I think that's the perfect one for me. And
weather's good, football.
It's just typically everybody can get together on Thanksgiving. Christmas, a lot of times people are going to different areas, different people's houses.
True.
But yeah, Thanksgiving is the one that I like the most.
Is your birthday in this part of the year?
No, it's in June.
Oh, okay.
It's in June.
I'm partial to the holidays because my birthday is like right before Christmas.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And everyone's always like, well, that must suck. Well, no, it doesn't really suck that bad.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, how long have you actually been in business? I think you mentioned once that you started out on eBay.
I did. I tell you, I started in 99 on eBay, 1999, and selling sports cards. And even before then, before eBay was around, the internet is not like you guys know it now. Like I'm older, obviously, and I'm 44, and so in the mid to late 90s, there was obviously AOL or Web TV. I don't know if you know.
I never heard of Web TV.
Well, look at Web TV. You'll like, what is this? But there used to be these groups and chat rooms, and that's how you sold stuff. And then eBay come around, and everybody's like, hey, this new thing. And so I started actually on eBay in 1999, selling sports cards. Built up, quite a bit of feedback. Quit doing it for several years, and then probably late 2000s started and from then on it was like video games, and because in 99 nobody was buying and selling video games. It wasn't
it wasn't a big thing, right?
Yeah,
at the time
it wasn't.
So then from there, when did you actually start up the physical location?
It was, I think it was like 5 years ago. or 4 years ago now, and I was doing everything. I was doing this full time, eBay full time, but also having a full time job, and I finally quit my job and started doing it out of the house. And then I was like, man, I just wanted to get it out of my house. You know, like it's a lot of stuff, and it's as much fun as it was being able to work in your, you know, in your pajamas. It's not, you know, like there's something about going to work. And so I opened a store. Well, I rented the building, and we still did eBay out of the building.
Yeah.
Once we got it settled in, I was like, well, we got this little bit of room. So we opened up and had like a front section to it. And it wasn't long until we moved around to the front of the building to actually have a storefront. And that was about 4 years ago. So
how long have you used the New Wave name?
That's, again, New Wave Hobbies. Our email is newwavehobbies@aol.com. So,
Sweet. Yeah.
So I mean, that's how long since it's been
99. Right?
Yeah, since 99.
Since the beginning, it's been New Wave. That's cool.
Yeah.
So you said sports cards you started with, and then you moved on to video games. Yeah. When did you start getting all the vintage toys and games and stuff like that?
I mean, it's kind of always been around. I worked for a wholesale in early 2000 that sold sports cards, and I would travel to Memphis. I would travel to Cincinnati, Kentucky, Atlanta, all these, like the card shops, to comic book stores.
Right.
And so it was always around, but it wasn't until, you know, when I was doing it on eBay, I would look for stuff, but, you know, it didn't, until I really opened the stores when I really started getting the stuff to actual sale.
Right.
You know, so that's, again, probably about 3 or 4 years ago.
Okay.
On that stuff.
So it must be pretty good business since you got this new space, which is very nice. It's much less cramped.
Yeah.
The other place was kind of tiny, and you bump your toes on stuff, but now you feel like you could run a marathon in here. It'd kind of be a boring marathon, but you could do it. But
for sure.
But yeah, I love how much more room that you've got in here.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty successful business that you run.
Yeah, I mean, here's not, you know, people, it's all relative, right? Like,
yeah.
The whole reason why this is something that I preach is that, not preach, but that's not, I could sit there and kept working for somebody else, you know, $15 an hour or I, you know, and honestly be a slave to them, or I can get out there, you know, I have, my daughter's 15 now, but then when she was 10, 11, she was starting to go into middle school, and I wanted to be able to go to her games and make her games, and you know, I do well enough to where I don't have to work for somebody else.
That's good.
You know,
that's really great.
And moving into the bigger space is scary because it is a lot. It is a lot, obviously, more overhead. But you know, I feel like Dixon really will, once it's in this space and everything's out, they're going to respond well to it. So I
think so too. I really do. And on that note, I kind of want to know if there are any, like, especially slow times of year for this kind of business, or especially busy times of the year. And I'm assuming that most of the people who come in here generally come back, so you get repeat business pretty normally.
Yeah. Right now, everything's seasonal because of, well, COVID is really, I don't even know if I can say COVID.
Yeah, you can. It's fine.
Okay, because some places you can't. But anyway, but like during the summertime where people are out, they're doing, it's slower. It's a little slower because of people are out at the park, you know, the river.
Right. Not playing video games, right? Yeah.
Right. Playing
movies.
Ball. Yeah. They're out enjoying life. Typically in the wintertime, you know, especially Christmas time.
Yeah, this is a great place to go for Christmas.
Yes. Thanks. I mean, November, December, January, usually the 3 biggest months.
Okay.
Know? And usually people say January, well, there's a lot of gift card money coming around. You know, a lot of money's being saved up or returned for, you know, items that they didn't like. And
have you? Maybe you should start doing your own gift cards.
We will be doing those.
Awesome,
We've been looking. We did them kind of at the other shop, but we definitely were going to have it more custom.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
that would be really cool. So I wasn't the first one to think of that idea, so whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned your girls' games,
Mm-hmm.
and I know that you're into softball coaching.
Yes.
So how long have you been doing softball coaching?
That's I coach a travel team that's around here, and we've been doing it for 4 years.
Okay.
Almost the same time, roughly, that I've been doing the shop as well. Because once I wasn't working for someone else, I was able to do the things. But I am the coach of the Tennessee Patriots, and not just I'm over the whole organization, which we've got 3 teams.
Oh wow!
It's 2 12-year-old teams and 1 10-year-old team.
That's way more involved than I thought. I thought you just coached one team.
Right.
Dang.
Well, I tell you, when we practice on the field, we also have girls that don't even play for us come practice with us. I mean, you'll come up there and there's going to be 40 girls running around on the field, and it looks like chaos. But at the end of the day, you see, man, it's really cool watching how we got it set up. And I mean, there's every practice is about 40 girls and broke into different sections.
Awesome. So you said you have so many different teams. So are you like in charge of other coaches or?
The whole organization is mine. Like I'm over, and I don't. But yeah, I'm over all the coaches in the Patriots organization.
Okay.
I also coach middle school softball at East Hickman and middle school volleyball at East Hickman.
Busy guy.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
So you personally coach too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what's your track record like? Do you win a lot?
We didn't, but when we first started, we did not. But currently, we are very successful on all 3 teams.
That's pretty sick.
We have finally built up. These girls have been with us for about a year now, and the older group, the older 12U, we challenge them with going out of state a little bit more and against better teams, and they're very, very successful. And the other 12U is newer to that age group, but they've held their own. They've come in second to the older group in a few tournaments, and then my 10U has definitely it's probably one of the more successful teams from this area.
Okay. So on that, I noticed a Facebook post that you made a couple weeks ago about player poaching.
Yes.
What does that actually mean in this softball league world?
Well, that's funny. The post I actually made, it wasn't my post. Somebody else had posted it.
Oh, so you just copy paste, right?
Well, it's funny because this guy 2 years ago was trying to steal my players.
Also, if you don't want to talk about that, we could.
Let me tell you this. If I post it out there, I'll talk about it.
Okay.
What it means, poaching, is when players or when coaches from other teams try to get your players to quit your team to go with them, and there's a lot of that, lot of parents aren't happy, so they're not happy with the coach, so they're looking to go somewhere else, and coaches, hey, come over here, and so it's much like. It's like LeBron getting all the players, like calling behind the people, and that's what they're trying. And that was the whole post was about. That guy had mentioned about some teams were trying to get his players, and I thought the irony in that is that he himself, he had sent and I'll say this is that's why we have 40 girls come to the girls coming to us. They're coming from rec or. They don't play with other teams. We develop and get our own girls. We don't have to go out and steal girls. We don't. That's not what we do.
Yeah. And
that's the hope. But the post was that he was frustrated because I guess some players or some coaches were trying to steal some of his players.
So it's funny how the wheel keeps turning.
Yes. 2 years later, and to be honest with you, he caused some of my girls to leave 2 years ago. And at the end of the season, we were very successful then, and of course those girls, few of them don't even play for him anymore. So,
well, that's not good.
Yeah, I mean it could go. It's a great travel ball if they let it, can be very, very
like cutthroat almost.
Oh, for sure, cutthroat, and you know, the worst part is the kids are the ones that get.
Yeah, they take the brunt of the force on that.
Yeah, because parents aren't happy. Kids, they'll do it. I mean, they'll be happy whatever they're doing. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
rough.
I kind of I guess I want to know, like, why would that even be a thing? That what is it just the merit, or is there money to be made, or?
That's a good, because I don't get paid, and I'll say this: I don't have a kid on the team.
Mm-hmm.
I do have a daughter. She's a freshman now, and she's played for she's played for me some, but
yeah,
all the girls I coach, I don't have any ties other than just them showing up to practices and stuff, and I don't get paid. But there's some that either they'll either have their kids the coach, or they are getting paid a little bit, not much. Most of them aren't getting paid much. You know what? I don't, outside just winning. There's no other. You know what I mean? Like
that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's super, super interesting.
It is, and I tell you, like, people don't understand until you get in that if you ever get into travel softball or baseball, and it can be it's sad, really. I mean,
oh man, no, don't say that.
When
it's fun.
It's for sure. I love it. I wouldn't do it. It's the reason why I do it is for the ones that a lot of our girls have come from, been left behind. Like they weren't, you're not good enough to make this team. And I'm like, well, let's just see. We work with them, and they work at home, and here it is a year later, and they're starring for us, and we're winning tournaments, and they're getting trophies and rings and stuff like that.
That's
what I mean?
Pretty cool. Yeah. I feel like you're in it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
I could see it in the way, like, your face lights up, you know? So that's really, really cool that you're into that. It's really great that you are.
Yeah.
But so is like baseball your favorite sport?
No, it was when I was in high school, and I played men's travel softball competitively.
Okay. For
my whole, for probably 20 years, and so always like my favorite to play, yet it's definitely not my favorite to watch.
Yeah, to watch.
It's pretty boring.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you that also because you said you started with this buying and selling of sports cards.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. It's like everything comes full circle for you.
I tell you, yeah. And I'll say this is right now, the industry for sports cards, the place I used to work for, I guess as a wholesale, is one of the biggest around. They were based out of Nashville, and they still are, but they had places in New York, Chicago, Arizona, all these big warehouses and stuff. And it's so hard to get sports cards right now, like packs, because of they've made it almost where it's gambling and
well, I kind of feel like it's always been like that from what I've seen.
When you can get a Zion Williamson card and sell it, they're selling for $5-10 ungraded. That's like, you see what I'm like. Yeah. That's where the gambling part of it like really comes in. And
yeah,
you go to Walmart and they don't have anything, and you have people. I don't, but there's people, and I no, that's their business. But
so wait,
yeah,
what is the inherent value of like a baseball card? Like, so you can actually go to Walmart and you might get a pretty valuable card out of a pack.
Yes.
That's pretty interesting. It kind of reminds me of like Magic cards or Pokemon cards.
Yep.
Like Charizard sells for like $5-10 sometimes.
Yes.
Maybe not that much, but I don't know.
Oh, it's Charizard's. It's Pokemon right now too. Is as hot as it's ever been. Like
Pokemon is always as hot as it's ever been.
For as much as people are upset about quarantine and the COVID, honestly, it's helped. It's helped sports cards. It's helped Magic. It's helped Pokemon. Because I guess nostalgic when the people were quarantined, they were at home.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, it is. It's amazing how expensive these cars have gotten.
Yeah, and what I always think about in like old stuff is like, if there's only a few of these cards and then someone like accidentally destroys it or something, like that's lost forever. Yep. So really, you're kind of doing a good thing for like preservation of like an entire hobby.
Sure.
And so if you give somebody a card that's valuable and you know that they're gonna take good care of it and keep it preserved forever, you've done a service. You've saved some history. That's kind of how I sort of look at it, because I used to work in an archiving lab. So I'm into that kind of thing.
Well, and I say this is that one of the thing that makes this stuff the most is grading. Like so it's really going to preserve it. It's going to be slab. You know, you send it off to get to Beckett or PSA.
Are these like organizations that like actually grade these cards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and so those are two main ones. So if you come and if on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, if you're anything lower than a 7, you really don't want. You know, you really want it to be 8 or higher.
Right.
8 usually is going to hold market value, whatever. If it was ungraded, 9 and 10 is where the money, you know.
Okay.
And so if you do that, there's no arguing. You can say the card is mint. I can say it's not.
So then it's up to them to actually decide.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the qualities that they actually rate on those things?
I mean, you can pull it straight from a pack and it be a low grade. They're going to look at centering. They're going to look at, especially Pokemon, like if it's been played, they're going to
loses some points. Okay.
Absolutely, it's going to lose a lot of it. Just natural, like flaking of the card from the manufacturer. They're going to knock off, you know, just for whatever. And if it's not worth sending in, if you don't think you're going to get a 9 or better, it's really best just to not send it in, because you just.
Do you actually have to pay them to do that?
Oh, absolutely.
I bet they charge a lot.
I think that you send more in, you get a better discount.
Like a discount,
yeah.
Okay.
But I tell you, right, if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong with this exactly, but it's like a 6 month to 8 month wait just to get your cards back.
Jeez.
Right now, because of the quarantine and the shutdown and stuff.
Jeez. The first thing I heard about this quarantine was that people couldn't buy Nintendo Switches.
Yes.
That's when I knew things were serious.
Yeah.
That's kind of like the first time I really paid attention to it. Then the next thing I knew, it was just everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then like all the Walmarts, gas stations everywhere selling masks now. Like,
yeah,
it's like a thing that you just might pick up. You're like, oh, I think I like that mask, and it's because we all kind of think that we're just gonna have to keep wearing them now.
Yes.
And that's odd to me. We've all just kind of accepted that, and but the thing is, like in Japan, people wear masks in public anyway. So maybe it's just gonna become a cultural thing now. Some people might like them to accessorize. I don't know, but I just think it's really, really strange.
Yes, I mean, I wear it when they tell me to, or when I have to, and I know to each his own, and I know for some it will offend. You know, I'm not a hoax guy. I'm not saying, oh, it's a hoax, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it is what it is. And
it's strange. Like we lost some freedoms when 9/11 happened that we really never got back, and I think that maybe that happened again. That's a horrible, scary point.
It is. Yeah. And again, like I said, I know people get it. I know people are may die from it.
Oh yeah. I think it's definitely a real disease. I just
for sure.
Don't think that it should be blown up as much as it is. Yeah. And I actually haven't got a test yet. Have you been tested?
No,
for it?
I haven't.
I'd like to find out if I have the antibodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's that. Well, like I feel like as much as I've been around people, my biggest thing is, can you get it twice?
No, because when you get the antibodies, you can't get it anymore.
Right, unless it mutates or whatever.
Right,
I'm
right.
assuming, but again, like it's still not a definitive answer, you know. And
that's true.
But I do know this is that being coaching, I have to be a little bit more careful on that side, because I want to make sure that the kids and stuff are safe and the parents feel comfortable. But you know, my personal opinion aside, versus want to make sure the right, you know, because we have had cases where people have been exposed to it. Some people have had it, you know, and I just tell them, sit home, be careful, like, and we take the precautions.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. And well, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I mean, I'm just it's again, I get the severity of it for some. Uh, you know, me personally, if I die tomorrow and they say it's COVID, it's probably maybe okay. I get it, but
dude in a motorcycle crash dies from the motorcycle crash, sadly, right? But
yeah.
then they say it's because he had COVID. He just happened to have COVID when he died on the motorcycle.
Yes,
that's a whole different conspiracy.
Yes,
like,
yeah, definitely longer time. But it's I'm not going to, because when it first happened, I'll speak from the shop aspect. Is like, I thought, man, this is it. I'm going to be shut down. I'm done. Like
I've seen a dentist shop around here. A dentist, or no, not. Why did I say dentist? A barber shop. That's what. A barber shop that I wanted to go to happened to be shut down.
Yep.
And it said because of COVID we can't operate anymore.
Yes.
We're shutting our doors.
Yep.
And I guess you should count yourself lucky.
Well, the reason why I'm lucky is because I was able to move my stuff online.
Yeah.
And everybody was buying online.
And you were already comfortable in that space, too.
Yes, it was easy. Okay, let's just take pictures and post it. And I was able to train. But I really, and then the same thing with the teams. I'm like, this could be the end of the teams because it's this is the beginning. It's scary. We don't know.
Yeah, you can't play softball over Zoom.
Right. And I'll say this, and this is my own personal opinion, but they had me when Vegas shuts down. Okay, I understand. Like when they can shut Vegas down, I'm listening.
Yeah,
because
that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So, but now that Vegas is back up, and I'm like, I don't know about all this.
Blood pressure drops a little bit. Yeah, everything's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that was a pretty long conversation about COVID.
Yeah.
It just kind of happened. I'm really interested to know what are some of the rarest items you have right now.
Right now, oh man, that's I've got
or you've ever had even.
Man, I've had. This is the thing. I've been into video games since 2008. And back in 2008, man. Even then, you could still get it's crazy. Like now, social media has made it like people are selling it themselves.
Yeah.
Facebook Marketplace made it easier. People know what they have, or they're keeping it. That's another thing. But used to you could find it all day long. Now you can't. It's just hard. So I've had some really rare Super Nintendo games in boxes. I tell you right now, I've got a couple, or the whole set of. It's a PlayStation 2 game called Dot Hack.
I've never heard of that one.
What?
No, I actually haven't.
All right. And I tell you, one of the most expensive ones is Dot Hack Quarantine, which is like $200 or $300.
You've got that right now?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's I've got. There's like a series of 6 or 8 for PlayStation 2, and some of them aren't they're like $20-$30, and but there's some of them $80 to $100, and
okay.
But the Quarantine I think is like $250-$300.
Nice.
I've had that. I tell you some other, like a Pokemon. It's a yellow handheld. I don't have it now. I sold it, but it's a rare. And I had it in box. I had a gold Nintendo 64 console, brand new. That it was a Zelda, but even though it wasn't back then, it wasn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. Like now, if it was Zelda, it would have their logo.
Oh yeah, but it was just gold.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
It was like I said, I got it on vacation in Gulf Shores. I was down there and I was looking up back then. It was Craigslist, and went over and met the guy and got it and ended up selling it. I kept it for a little bit and then I ended up selling it. Now it's like probably worth $2,000.
Should have held on to that.
Yeah, I sold it for like $500, and I'm like,
I didn't even know they had a gold in 64.
Yeah,
I know about the Pikachu one. And
yes.
I think you've had one of those.
I have,
and I saw it here or there before.
Yeah.
I really, really wanted that thing. I used to be so broke.
it's I mean, I tell you, that was a good score. I wish I could just think right offhand like some of the cool stuff I've had, but. And like I said, I still have a lot of really expensive games right now, even in store. I've got a lot of expensive PlayStation 2s. I got a Zelda Minish Cap right now in box right here.
Ooh.
That's a rare.
That is a rare find. Yeah. How much does that go for in box like that?
I think if I can remember, it's like 200.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, which Dragon Ball game is that?
That's
that's okay.
Fuse Fury, which that's $150 complete.
What's the one that I'm thinking of, like the Legacy of Goku or something? That's a Game Boy Advance game.
It is, but that's one of the cheaper ones.
Oh, okay.
There's a Tenchu or Tenkai.
So they got weird names.
Yeah, I know. I'm not
Budokai, I know that one.
but it's Budokai Tenchi or something like that.
Right.
That's
Dragon Ball has so many games, and some of them are just not very good.
Yes.
But I've been playing Fighters. Have you played Fighters?
Mm-mm.
That's like the newest one.
Yeah.
I have it on my Switch. Oh, dude, it looks just like the cartoon.
Okay.
It's like perfectly cel shaded animation. Yeah. It's beautiful, great game, and a competitive one too. So that question was kind of good. Like, what's the rarest thing you've got? But you kind of went into what I was going to ask again. Like, what's the most expensive thing that you've ever had, and what's the biggest score you got off of something?
Man, that's a great question because man, that is a great question, and I mean you can. I
feel like you'd probably remember the most amount of money you made off of one thing. Right?
I would think, but I tell you, like I buy the biggest things I buy in bundle, like bunches, and that's the way I liked it. Because when people are like, "Oh, come and pick and choose," I'm like, I don't want to leave anything behind because the one thing I leave behind is probably the one I don't know, and it's worth the most. I really wish. Man, I couldn't tell you. That's a terrible. I should know that. I should know that. But,
sorry, bad question, I guess.
No, it's yeah. I mean, I've got a lot of even in the shop now. Like a lot of this stuff, you look around and like it's the accessories to it, or the collector's edition stuff.
I love the collector's editions.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
I bought that off from like the same person, and it's like. There's a lot of you don't see that stuff like The Witcher, just that whole statue with the horse, and I mean cool. It's very rare. The Diablo brand new box sets over there, the PC games.
I really wish the Splinter Cell Blacklist was actually a good game. I like the old Splinter Cells, and then they just got bad for me.
I tell you, like whenever I used to anything I like cartridge. I test every bit of it. Disc, I don't. I used to a long time ago, like I said, 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Mm-hmm. And Splinter Cell would be one of those games that I would test. It was just like it was fun.
Yeah.
For the PS2, but not so much anymore. Like I don't. Like there's other games out. Like, I like to test and play for a while. So.
Well, on that, I guess I kind of want to ask you, like, what are some of your favorite video games? Like your personal faves, or like childhood favorites. Even.
It's easy. I mean, it's a simple any Zelda.
Zelda?
Like I can tell you.
So we have that in common. Like they're my favorites too. My favorite is the Wind Waker.
Yep.
Which I love your poster. So
yep.
which Zelda is your favorite?
Yeah.
The same one.
Oh! I thought yes. Remind me to show you something later.
Okay.
About the Wind Waker, I got some cool. This is I bought a bunch of stuff like some. Stuff that was from GameStop back in the day, but never used, like posters and anyway, it's really, really cool. My favorite was Wind Waker, but it's Breath of the Wild.
See, I got like two others before that, but it's up there on like the top four. But yeah, Wind Waker is definitely a great choice for the first favorite.
The Breath of the Wild, I just loved it because it's kind of. But then before that was the Wind Waker, and they different but similar, like open world. But I do like the Wind Waker. It's my second favorite.
That's really cool. Some of my favorite games, like definitely Halo, right? Like that's super. Yeah. Everyone loves Halo. I'm not really big on so many like PlayStation things. I never had a PlayStation like growing up.
Yeah.
But now I've got my PlayStation Classic, and I've hacked it, and I've put like all the games on it ever. And I've really figured out that I like Japanese RPGs. But I can't play them because they're so damn long. Yeah. And so it's a slog to get through. So I've just been playing Mario Galaxy for like the last week.
Yeah. I mean, in my nephew, which he's right now, he's early 30s, whatever, and but he was like, he ended up going to Knoxville, and so this was right as I was opening the shop at the beginning. He sold me a bunch of PS1 RPG, like Japanese stuff. Like he was big into. It still is. I mean, he still does. But yeah, he definitely. It's. But again, they're long. They are very, very
super long.
Yeah.
But what's funny sometimes is the awkward translations from like English or from Japanese to English. Like it's like people don't talk like this.
Yeah.
And when I was littler, I used to be like, "What? Who talks like this?" And now I understand the reasoning.
Yeah.
It's weird to translate Japanese sometimes because they have like words for stuff that we describe with like a full sentence.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's because we love to talk.
Yeah, I guess that's clearly we do. Do you have any favorite films? I know you sell movies here too.
Well,
so.
we do. I mean, this is something, when you do this long enough, people bring you all kind of. I mean, I'm telling you, there's some crazy stuff people will bring you. And sometimes, I also set up the flea market every now and then in Dixon,
right.
And so sometimes I'll buy something for that. Movies, the comedies. Vince Vaughn is one of my favorite. Like I just love Vince Vaughn. I think.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. The Days Confused, obviously, because it reminds me of Dixon.
That is a great movie, and honestly, yeah.
It's one of my if it comes on, I'll sit and watch.
The soundtrack to that movie,
for sure,
is awesome
for sure. Yeah, I mean, just typically comedies and the anything Vince Vaughn, and of course Days Confused. I'll tell you, horror movie wise is Rob Zombie's. I love his
do
movies.
you like the Rob Zombie Halloween?
I did. I know some people didn't, but I'm not not necessarily a traditional I know some people didn't, but I actually did. So
I dig all the slasher movies.
Yeah.
But I will say that one's kind of a weak Halloween movie.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen any other Rob Zombie stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so maybe I should.
Yeah,
That's
for
what
sure.
you're
Like
telling me.
House of a Thousand Corpse, and the sequel to that was which was, I don't know if it's 21, 30. I don't remember what it was. But, that's terrible. I should know, but it was good too.
Well, I mean, that's pretty interesting, man.
Yeah.
So we've had a really good, fun time, and I want to do one more thing with you. This is going to be kind of fun.
Okay.
We're going to do kind of like a tier list of both the Avengers and the Justice League.
Okay.
So I think we should start with the Justice League.
Okay.
Because I like Marvel better.
Okay.
So we're going to do them last. So who even are the members of the Justice League? So you've got your plushy Flash and your plushy Superman right there.
Yeah.
So and then there's Batman.
Well, I would think. Hold on, you're saying. So I guess what we would need to say is, are you Marvel or are you DC?
I'm a Marvel guy.
Okay, yeah.
But I like them both.
Yeah. All right. Yep. So Superman,
the
Flash, the
Aquaman, Wonder Woman,
mm-hmm.
and Batman.
Okay.
I think those are the ones. But do they have any more like mainstays?
I'm trying to. I should know this too.
Yeah, we'll just light Googling.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's. You said Iron Man, right?
That's
Marvel.
Yeah, that's the Avengers.
Never mind. That's Flash. I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's just those. There's.
Oh, they've got all kinds of people who've been in it. Like, of course, there's someone named Plastic Man, and he had the most boring action figure ever. I don't know, but okay. So, who is your favorite? I have to put Superman at the bottom because I think he's overpowered.
Okay.
And also, fourth, I guess, would be Flash because he's also way too powerful.
Okay. So we're going from the best.
No, just who do you think is your favorites? I guess.
Oh, I do Batman. I like Batman.
So he's your number one.
Yeah, and then it would be Superman. And really, when I was younger, I watched those better than I do. I watched the older ones with Christopher Reeves, which tells you how old I am. Who's that? But that's.
But these Zack Snyder movies that are coming out
yes.
People don't think they're very good.
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the new ones.
Well, and I know what's Ben Affleck is
he's the current Batman, and then Robert Pattinson, who is the vampire from Twilight, is going to be Batman now.
Yeah.
So that's a little weird, but maybe he'll do good.
Yeah, I feel like they've jumped the shark. Although I tell you, and I say this is Michael Keaton, then he.
Yes, great Batman.
Yes, he's probably one of my favorite all-time actors.
Is that the Burton Batman? I'm not sure. The Tim Burton Batman movie is like one of my favorite movies.
It would be. I don't know. I can't. But I know that anything with Michael Keaton is good. But he's to me is the best Batman.
Yeah, I need to watch Beetlejuice too.
Oh my gosh, you've never seen Beetlejuice?
Nope.
Lord, that's such a good movie.
I guess I'm really behind on my movies, and I consider myself to be a pretty good movie guy, but I guess I'm not. But yeah, Michael Keaton was the Tim Burton Batman.
Yeah.
So Batman's your one, then Superman.
Yes.
So then you got Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash.
I mean, Aquaman's gonna have to go. It has to go last.
Oh, you don't like Aquaman?
No. I mean, he's my least favorite.
He's got kind of some dumb powers.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm like, Wonder Woman would go third, and then fourth would be Flash.
Okay.
Although my daughter would be upset because she loves Flash. So.
That show's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother used to watch Arrow and The Flash when those were still coming out, and I'm not sure if they're even done yet, so don't quote me on that. So yeah, mine I guess would be, it has to be Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Superman.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because I really can't appreciate Superman because he's just too powerful.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
But I like the whole, like, he's the most classic superhero ever thing. I respect that. You know, it's kind of funny. He just takes his glasses off, and no one can understand what he looks like anymore.
What?
It's like one of his.
Go?
It's got to be one of his superpowers.
Right. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I can relate to that because I used to do it to my daughter all the time. Oh, where'd you go?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I guess. So next we'll do the Avengers.
Okay.
So I think that we've got Iron Man, Thor, Spider-Man. Would you count Wolverine, or is he just an X-Men for you? He's not in the current Avengers movie universe.
But Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America.
The Hulk, right?
Yes.
I would count Wolverine. I mean, I think
sure.
He's,
we'll throw him in.
I mean, he's a very huge character. In the universe. I know we're missing one. That's.
I think we are.
Like we're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man.
Did you say okay?
The Hulk, Thor, Wolverine.
People are probably yelling at us right now, like you idiots.
Like we should probably throw in Black Widow.
Okay.
And why not Hawkeye too?
All right.
Since he's in the movies, but I don't really count him in real life.
Well, no, one I wouldn't count in real life probably, but is Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, yeah, they're their own thing.
Yeah, I know, but like they're in the at least. But I tell you though, they're. I like them so much I include them. You got the Black Panther.
I don't think he's not on the list for this. I don't think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just the main 5 or 6.
And I've got to put Wolverine. I'm writing this down so we don't forget halfway through. I think that's a good enough list.
Yeah.
Right there. There they are.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I'll go first this time. So it's a toss-up. When I was littler, I used to be obsessed with Spider-Man. And then I flip-flopped him with Iron Man. Mm-hmm. And now I think I'm back to where I like Spider-Man again more.
Yeah.
And I really like what they've done with the movies, where like Spider-Man is Iron Man's like sidekick almost. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of cool. So 1 and 2 is Iron Man and Spider-Man for me, interchangeably. After that, Wolverine, and then Thor, and then the Hulk, and then Black Widow, and then Hawkeye.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's about. I mean, honestly, that's close to.
Oh, and I forgot Captain America.
Yeah.
Actually, Captain America is slightly above Black Widow.
Okay, so which was what, 4?
He was like
5th,
6.
6.
Yeah.
I definitely, just in character wise, Spider-Man, Captain America, the Iron Man movie, just the whole in general. I do like him, the Iron Man. the Iron Man.
The Iron Man.
Yeah, the Iron Man.
That's the Bollywood ripoff version.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
the Iron Man.
But
I guess it's kind of tough.
yeah, Thor is one of my least favorites. Honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know. I'm probably in the minority there, but Hawkeye would be probably last. Like
Dead last. Yeah. Why did we even put him on the list?
I don't know. But I would say Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man.
Don't forget Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk, and who else was it?
You got Black Widow left after Hulk.
Hulk, Black Widow, and
then Hawkeye.
And, Thor and Hawkeye.
Oh, then Thor and then Hawkeye. Yeah. Okay.
And I know, like I said, I know a lot of people love Thor, but I don't know.
Have you ever seen that movie Adventures in Babysitting?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a big reason I like Thor a lot. I used to love that movie. But yeah, man, it's been a lot of great fun. Yeah. So, guys, if it's almost that time of year, time to do some Christmas shopping. If you're in the Dixon area, come to New Wave Hobbies. It's behind the carpet shop in the Miss Amy's building. And if you are not in the Dixon area, you can look up New Wave Hobbies on Facebook. Yeah. That'd probably be the best way. Yeah. He's got some really cool stuff, guys. So definitely look him up and support the people in my community, because he's supporting me by coming onto the show and giving me someone super interesting to talk to. I'd like to shout out to my non-existent sponsors, Raycon. Shout out to the Cash App. Shout out to the Flask Cap. And shout out to the Ass Flaps. Those aren't real. I made them up. Also, shout out to Four Loco. Please sponsor my podcast and make me rich. And also, guys, I actually have a real sponsor now. It is a clothing line called Penrose Maximus. It is pretty cool. I actually bought myself a pretty nice Vaporwave DeLorean hoodie, which is pretty sick. So it's penrose-maximus.com, and their prices are pretty reasonable. I haven't got the hoodie in the mail yet, but I can't wait to tell you about it when I do. You can use the code Andrew10 at checkout to get what I'm assuming is going to be 10% off, because why would they put 10 at the end of the code? They didn't tell me that part. So I guess with that, everybody enjoy your day, your week, your month. You're beautiful, and I love you. Bye-bye.